morning. Our chief guest this morning is Noel Robinson, the president of Mangray Center Park Sports Associations, that is always an instrument to develop this stadium and the park. Come on, people, one more time. And we can say that he's a dedicated person into our community. And our guest also that we have, Harinath from the Department of Corrections, right on my right. He's based in Mount Eden, corrections facilities in Mount Eden. And also, we do have our guest this morning, Honorable the Consulate, Republic of Fiji, Arish Lodia. And our fourth guest this morning is the Labour MP from Mangere, Mr. Aupito William Sio. Hey, Fiji Day Celebration. Let's celebrate and continue. We're going to leave this place tonight with a very high note and say that you are dedicated to Fiji, even though you live in New Zealand. And then sa na may tungo na muna vatero and the really tunga may be we're going to invite our guest speaker, our chief guest, which is Noel Robinson, to speak to us this morning.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Firstly, may I again say welcome to the Mangray Center Park, which is fast becoming the home of people from the Pacific, as we have many activities here and mainly sports activities, but the opportunity is okay for many others to be involved in various forms. May I say to each and every one of you, congratulations on your involvement in the Fiji Day Celebrations as you celebrate the nationhood of your heritage. I'd like to pay particular tribute this morning to the members of the New Zealand Police and the Corrections Department. Very impressive display by them. And I particularly have a close association with the police, as my late wife, who passed away just 2 months ago, was a member of the New Zealand Police for more than 25 years. I want to say to particularly the young people, or the younger people, please don't ever give up on your heritage. It is so important that we recall not only where we and our forebears came from, but know a little bit of the language that they might have spoken, and certainly know much of the culture and background from whence they came. The world is getting very, very small as we get influenced by television and other media to what is happening around the world, and we start to feel that things are very unimportant. But my dear wife was committed to the philosophy expressed in one saying of Mahatma Gandhi, that if you want to see the change, let it start with me. And for each one of us, we need the background of where we've come from to understand the changes we must make and how we face the world in front of us. I myself have a Scottish heritage, and I'm not going to get out and speak Gaelic, and I certainly can't play the bagpipes. but I certainly know the family line going back probably 400 years, and I certainly know the history of how my forebears came to New Zealand and how I am ultimately a Kiwi today. So that's the sort of message I leave with you, and congratulating you for your Fiji Day celebrations. Keep the Language Week going as part of the Fiji Day, and you won't go far wrong. Thank you for your warmest hospitality, and may I once again extend you sincere thanks and warmest greetings. Good morning.
Bula Binaka. Nisam Bula Binaka, happy 47th anniversary Fiji Day. Tawa Binaka tiko na singanikuan ni tamay maraw ta tiko isenta pa sa katulungon ni Ambaki nikuan na non tamay maraw ta kana kabitu sa bulu kabasa bulu kabitu ni no tatungala na matan tuko pertania. Tawa Binaka tiko bagalewu berto na bagaleslesi na no to taka bangu matua. Me baleta na kena bagaruta kina bonongo me mai bagadori kina na songo ya tomando na bia babi na nakatatalanga na nonda bulangi na mata ni Palmeti chuo batakenda suo William na mata i Mengrei da babi na nakataka ni kuan tu na singa e maro taka kwa me ngole mai me mai maro taka batakenda na singa ni kuan. I want to take this opportunity and thank Mr. Noel Robinson and also Mr. Sue William for agreeing to come to this function today. It's a blessing to have you here, and also our Fiji Council office from Mount Roscoe, Mr. Lodia. And my friend here from the correction department is also from Fiji. So, a very warm welcome to you for attending this special event today. And we are very grateful, and also it's an honor for us to have you with us after all the telephone call and all the consultation, invitation to all our people whom we have invited, but they've been very busy today. So we've been very lucky to have you, and thank you for attending this special event. And to all our children and our emerging generation who are growing up in Mangere, South Auckland, in New Zealand, we welcome you to our function today, and we hope that you will enjoy the day. There's supposed to be bouncing castle arriving soon on the corner over there. So this is a family event, a family day for us to enjoy as a family. Adults, children, and young people. And don't forget our Pacific Island community. A lot of them will come in and go out to buy food. Please make them feel welcome. This is a special day. Thank you very much. God bless Fiji. Naka.
All right, another thunderous round of applause for the president of the Fiji Community Association of Auckland, Mr. Voniani Mwanga Vanua. All right, it's so beautiful to look from here and see you all here and spending your day with us. All right, our next speaker this morning is Mr. Harry Nath, and he has a very colorful story to share. Okay, anybody here from Nandrunga? Raima, Navosa? Ah, there you go. There we go. We've got a lovely gentleman that is seated right here. All right, you will want to sit, you'll want to hear what Mr. Harry Nath has to say. Now, he has been in the corrections department in Fiji for over 2 decades, and he is now a corrections officer here in Aotearoa. Mr. Harry Nath, please, the person so much, Mr. Harry,
Nagawalu. Our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Fijian community, I once again welcome you. I only saw these Fijian t-shirts when Fiji won the gold medal in Olympics. And here again, it's very colorful. It's always good to see people wearing T-shirts, and not only from Fiji, but other Pacific neighboring countries who are here. So let us please enjoy this day. I won't be taking long, as I'm aware that a lot of us want to have some tarlala, want to have some kava, and enjoy Fijian food. I will try to speak in Fijian, and if you are in doubt of anything, we have our corrections tent in front there, and you can get a lot of information from there. Ni sampula bina kana turanga na marama au maro takawale uni tukuni mai bea me wasea na nungauna birakata kama ina tambataka ni bei maroroi bei susu bei tangomaki mai biti ya na wali bei besu au takataka tuki na tambataka ni wali besu mai na baki walu sanga burkarua ka au vengu mai kina baki ronandolu tim karua. E tolu sanga wulu bi mama namba ki ni nongu taka tu mai tama taka ni be garab mai itu. E bidana ka una via wasia chugo be kinni. E usa taka oti mai namboro suba headquarters mai nasinu watale ki na tambua. Dona ka e chikini no tambula chugo na beisinga e na discipline. Na discipline kona bosa babalai. E bosa e bida wala na bosa ia kapaka enda Wanga taka na nonda mbula, e anda na marau taka. Na bingarabi bali bebesu, e lemo ronto tukuna, eseni rau. Iyo we kemni na chiko rau nikua, na kau be tak chiko be kemdo. Ndo tukuna Mr. Neivalurua kwa esa PS chiko ni foreign affairs ngo, it's a noble job. It's a noble job. Ya na takataka na corrections i nonda banua batali kiniki. Ya usa tol sanga bulu bata mai ni yambaki mai biti, ka usa lavo mai usa tungo i mounted corrections. Au sarai da ka e baru tak chugo weekend na kalu menda mai biti tumbe, da tumberi na ngon. Mai biti darida sentua e tutunga e duru mai bolu bebesu. E tiko na nona matapupale. E tiko na koro, nona koro. E tiko tama, e tiko tina. E tiko nona matangali. E tiko nona ebusa. E tiko talenga nona itoka. Da e tiko na lotu. Na lotu kwa ndoto numera baita bikina. Mero ni binaka kina na nonra bingarabi. Mero ni alo malu tukina. Era ora ibiti. Ele una kanta bulida mai kina. E sini panua dai bali bebesu. Kapa ka tua sa duru i kia le una kai bulida mai. Danga itu o kenda. Ele una ngauna tanto posa punru kina o kenda. Baleta arsentu baroro ngone. Ia enda tuibe. Ngauna endo tonu mentangkara vira kina. Where were we when we should be there in looking after our children at a young age? Amor taka vale murai da usara bato kana yalo ni kuwa na bengkara mi babanua en politiko na nonda culture kwenda tugudi chiko menda to mana chiko ya menda meroni binda kina entina ninda tuwa ya iyo kebaka enda na murio chiko na beka leilai eroni yado na beka binaka mai oti na bengkara mai biti au lama mai ausanga me wase chungoi na mounted and corrections. E tu na nongo itoka ni batakataka para do buke o kinabalemu ke tondo vitanoa e chico talanga andora ni tu songo mai biti ina bengkara na mounted and corrections ye boss e matai ni ngauna au mai baita bikina na kampaleta na Fijian language week au kila na pagi maingo sana to soidake meroni binakakina na nonda bengkara be seni mai tumba walenga iloma au kila me una postal nga ba na ronga e kindo na turana na marama mutu dala bina iya bonta ke me sa barongo alimu takataka soma i warni bebe su ibici no ko e kisano ke ti maru takine vale na yala lu kusara bia ko na singanikua empaletia na empaletia kundato na la mai bici kani songo bina no tu kwe bonda ki menduna to kunia mai no ko kwe roni to subina na baki mai ko roni to sutale kana batang megiata empaletia na warin besu no Mount Eden na correction ser bumbul me ko to no kwe bonda ki na information mutu bina cia mutu alobina mutungilawa na limandu Kuernila dan otako so na information tau doko eno tu kengoi mutu lawa lebu mai mutu ko buan runa kurna sarabo iwere mebu rochaso na songbona meru bolamai meru sabuli boturlala meru bau sitaremai kona Fiji corrections meru bau baitabi mutu notu tanda koto nikua mutu na bulang indokai tanda koto nikua na tumbangwa mutu na bulau mutu na lo tumbangwa mutu na organizers kaya koto lengu tata kona anggota nikua kaya lebuso nakwa
Binak seru galim. Total mandar mga susau. Weekend na nalumi, weekend na naringi hari tiko may dakilang. Na natutu kina na mumur, ang wala sarki mga yung India. Yo, bosa tiko ko mga piti ni ko, bosa tinga waka nandro nga. Hari, may tuko na may kemuni, orto levi na marama ni kanda, orto sana lesay na ni go, orto le. Opisa ni bali ni desyo. Nalele mo sa tinga na weka ni kanda ko. Kaya, iyo, satu ko namin kung sarto baro to na weka kami na. Yasa sa waka Waikato, Hamilton, Waikato, are you ready? Doma the signal mine na Rukuni Stadium. Dosa ko sa mai. Mai dosa ko mai. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're now kanda. Mana asa sa mga pag Waikato, Monoland, Miami, dosa ko mai. Kuna kan doma na mga sa wir na lubenda na kinanda. Ito kanda na tadin na ngol sa kito pag Waikato. Saya semua kawaikan, tapi pasal soal mana biar na kata na wala sa tingin kaya may Hamilton, meron may si lang sa rati ko pagka tabi tiko weekend na mantakan ni kuwa. Maharo tiko na mantak sa pagkabiti si babe. Oh? Iyo, maharo tiko na mantak sa pagkabiti and mother ang go kamay dapat tiko and singa ni kuwa. Kaya talaga may mga nomi na voter registration may panua eros hati ko na matay ni wale latang go di tewa ke Evelyn we kem ni nang rema monin baka bola ya bakina sa kere monile reviraw we ro na mara moro ting the Fiji elections office ero ting sarang go na matay ni wale lata. All right, talking about things Fijian, we're also delighted and honored to have our honorary consul of the Republic of Fiji, Mr. Harish Lodia. Every time he sees me, he says, I'm younger, and I say the same thing with you. My luck, my Mr. Lodia, and Mr. Lodia.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Nisambula, Fiji Day, 47 years young, and a lot of water has passed under the bridge. Today I thought I will not give a speech, but rather a message. The unity, the support system within locals, the unprecedented tolerance of culture, tradition and faith. Putting it all together, we have unconditional love. Being brought up amongst communities and treated each other indifferently, our diverse nation look up to Fiji when it comes to over a century of unity of this multicultural land. The unwinding at the end of a day of hard work, and you go to your neighbors and have a bowl of grog. Where else in the world do you see barefooted guys sitting on a mat and enjoying this brotherhood? Not forgetting our level of sporting talent that is utilized all over the world. We export a lot of our sportsmen to even play in the All Blacks, and yet is to be replicated by any other country. And not forgetting leading the tourism scene at the same time. My message to you on this auspicious day of Fiji Day is to never let the worldly differences set us apart. Be proud of your origin, your identity. Furthermore, we must thank the New Zealand government for all it has done for us. Fiji and New Zealand have been in very, very good terms, and the aim should be for us to further strengthen this relationship. When it comes to sevens rugby, Fiji will always be the best. And let me remind you, the business houses and prospective investors who have been contemplating on investing in Fiji, there's always plenty of opportunities, and take advantage of the good incentives being offered by the Fiji government. As the Honorary Consul, I can be reached anytime for consultation on any of your inquiries that you might have in relation to wanting to do business with Fiji. On behalf of my team and family, of course, I wish us a very happy Fiji Day celebration and pray Almighty for His blessings be upon all of us Fijians. May God bless you all.
God bless you too, Mr. Lord, you and your family. Thank you so very much. for heeding the call and being here to grace our stage. Mr. Harish Lodia, the Honorary Consul of the Republic of Fiji. Don't even the Saudi in the Maruti Kwatigo, can become a weekend and a Mataganiko. Okay, what have you heard so far? But Mr. Noel Robinson, he uttered these words: don't ever give up on your heritage. Mr. Lodia, what did Mr. Lodia just say? Be proud of your identity. And you're wearing Fiji proud on your shoulders. All right, and when Mr. Lodia said, when it comes to sevens, Fiji will always be on the top. What about Samoa? Samoa and Tonga, we want you up there as well. And of course, Aotearoa. All right, and speaking of Samoa, he's here. I don't know whether he's the only Samoan. No, he could be maybe the best looking Samoan around. He's the Labour MP for Mangere, Mr. Alpito William Seo. He's not there. There's Samoa.
My mother said, wherever there's food and you get up to speak, you better make the speech good. But at Pacific events, when you smell pork, you've got to keep it short. And I know the aroma of curry is lingering in the air, so I've got to hurry. Ngā mana hai wi e ngā reo e ngā karangaranga maha tēnā koutou ki ora tātou katoa. Nisa Pulavinaka, everyone, Talofa Lava, and warm Pacific greetings to one and all. Can I firstly just acknowledge the President and members of the Fiji Association for organising this auspicious occasion, and just acknowledge them, because these things are not easy to organise. So give them a big hand. I want to acknowledge also the wonderful sponsors, the many businesses and the government agencies who are here, and particularly I think we've been very privileged this morning to have the display of our police, members of the Fijian Committee, for us to show our colours, to do a march. Very rarely do we get our police doing this at special events, so we need to give them a big hand also. I want to acknowledge also our special guests, His Excellency the Honorary Consul of Fiji here. Thank you for being with us. Noel, obviously, who leads the organisation that looks after this park and these buildings. Thank you also, Noel, for your words, very powerful. And also our very good representative from the corrections, whom I believe shared with you a message that is very relevant to all of our families, not just Fijian families, to all of our families here in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I thought that I might have some good news for you, but the old man is still trying to make up his mind. I think by Wednesday he should have made a decision, and on Wednesday I think everybody else will also know the makeup of our next government. And so I just want to take this opportunity and thank all of you for voting, everyone who participated in our election. It is so important. It doesn't matter which political party you vote on. I know you all vote Labour, I think. It doesn't matter. I think what's important, and we've got to pass this on to our younger people, the next generation, our children, is that they participate, they get involved, and they ask the hard questions of all the politicians and inquire about what they will do. Because if our children don't participate, there's a vacuum. If they don't participate in elections, there's a vacuum that other people will take up. And other people may not necessarily make the kinds of decisions that will benefit our communities. And so that's my first message. Really, really important that we participate in our electoral processes, not just for central government, but also for local government. We need to continually participate. This year, about 80% of the New Zealand population who are eligible to vote participated. So there's still a huge 20% of people that still need to participate. But I want to encourage you to pass that on to our young children. They're making New Zealand their home. They need to participate in the electoral decisions of this nation of ours. Second thing I want to share with you is this day is the last day of the Fiji Language Week. And the theme of that is Nogogosa Meu Pulataka. My language, learn it, speak it, live it. That applies to all of us. Let me say to you that as a Samoan-born politician, a son of South Auckland, a son of Māngere, I am very proud of the fact that I have never lost the language, my own language. I give credit to my parents. When we went to school, my father insisted, go to school, speak English, come home, speak Samoan. And so I'm very privileged and blessed that my parents were able to help me maintain the language. Let me tell you the benefits to me. As a New Zealand politician, I believe I have a greater worldview because of my ability to be bilingual. And that helps me grapple with some of the very complex decisions that we as a country are faced with. When I go back to the village, around Christmas period, I am able to use the learnings I have from a Palangi perspective in helping our village make some good decisions for the future. So I believe it is very important. I proudly acknowledge the next generation as the generation of 4Bs, brown, beautiful, bilingual and brainy. And that's simply my way of encouraging the next generation to be proud of who you are, as Noel and others have said, to be proud of your heritage, to be proud of your language, and to hold fast unto it. I think if we had the opportunity of being in government, my responsibility, and I proudly would say this, is I would acknowledge and recognize our Pacific language as official community languages, as a way of helping future governments recognize that we've got to help the next generation hold on to whatever languages it is, whether it be Fijian, whether it be Gaelic, whether it be Samoan. The one thing I've learned as a result of this job in visiting European nations, these are nations very wealthy, these are nations very skilled, but these are also nations who pride themselves in multilingualism, who pride themselves in their children learning other languages aside from English. So I want to leave that message for you. Finally, 1970 is when Fiji became independent. Prior to that, I understand 96 years under British rule. There's a huge history that many of us here in Aotearoa, New Zealand do not know about, that many of our next generation do not know about. I know in 2002 when Helen Clark gave an apology to Samoa for the harms caused when New Zealand was the administrator of Samoa. That was a learning experience for many in Aotearoa, New Zealand. I think as part of Fiji Day, we need to reflect on that history. We need to reflect on the good and the bad, because the challenge for the next generation is to make sure that the harms caused or the bad that was done does not repeat itself. And I would ask, and hopefully in the future, that we make Fiji Day as an opportunity for learning about that history, about that past, about that heritage, which has enabled us to be here, and also to learn about that connectedness between the peoples of Fiji and the peoples of New Zealand and the wider world. I think there is about 15,000 ethnic Fijians here in Aotearoa, New Zealand, according to 2013 statistics. That doesn't necessarily recognize those who are citizens, those who are Fijian nationals. And I think there's a lot of learnings that New Zealand needs to know about Fiji and about all of our Pacific Island nations, because that history is intertwined. That history is going to be important to pass on to our next generation, our young people. And so I'll leave those messages with you and acknowledge and thank all of our elders, all of our families who are here. It is difficult. These are some of the difficult times that we're experiencing, but I think if we stand together, that we enable those things, those challenges to become a lot easier. And the fact that we're able to sit shoulder to shoulder today to embrace and to celebrate Fiji Day is a good thing for our communities. Bina Kalevu, God bless.
Labour MP for Mangere, Peter Williams here. And Mangere, you know, a lot of people say, especially people that live here, it's the capital of South Auckland. Do you agree? Okay, so Mangere is sometimes called Monterey or Mangele, but it is.